TikTok ban update. Donald Trump has delayed the TikTok ban for 75 days. What does it mean? Let's get into it. So Trump issued an executive order yesterday that said the TikTok ban is delayed for 75 days. Specifically, it says that the Department of Justice will not enforce the ban against companies like Google or Apple who run the app stores, or possibly Oracle that has servers that TikTok uses, and that it will not go after them for the fines that they are accruing if they host the app. Now, currently, the app stores are not hosting the TikTok app. I suspect, I'm a lawyer, I suspect this is because they are worried about the legal implications of Trump's executive order. Here's the problem. Under the law, Trump doesn't have the ability to actually delay the ban. He does if he certifies to Congress that a deal is in the works to sell TikTok and it's almost done. No such deal is in the works, and even Trump was not comfortable apparently lying about that. What Trump did do was not delay the ban, but delay the implementation of the penalty of the ban, right? So the order says, Department of Justice, for the next 75 days, you will not go after these companies for hosting the TikTok app, etc. The problem is the penalties are still accruing. So if Apple and Google were to host the TikTok app in their stores, they would still be accruing potentially billions of dollars of penalties, maybe even $100 billion, some folks have estimated, over the next year. But Trump simply promises he won't collect on that debt. Well, he can change his mind. An executive order is not a law. It's not something that is irrevocable. Trump can just simply rip up the executive order and say, I changed my mind. Now I want to come after you for that money. Well, if you're Google and Apple, why would you want to sort of risk hundreds of billions of dollars on Trump's promise that maybe, probably, but who knows, someday he won't come after you for hundreds of billions of dollars? You don't want that money hanging over your head. Also, it's basically extortion, so to speak. If Google and Apple have hundreds of billions of dollars of fines over their head from Trump, but Trump says, hey, I make you a deal, right? I got a deal for you. Then it means he can always come after them at any time in the future, and they're going to be beholden to him. So that's the problem. So first big issue here, why only 75 days, right? In 2 months, we're going to be facing this whole thing again? Seriously? 270 days would have been good. That's what the Democrats in Congress were proposing, but the Republicans killed. But 75 days? That doesn't really help. Second of all, as I said, it's not clear that this promise not to enforce matters, but it's also not clear what other legal remedy Trump has at this point. Because under the law, as I said, he could certify that a deal has almost been brokered, but that's not really true. So I think Trump's doing the most he can. Now, final point here is Congress. Why has Congress not done more to fix this? Congress hasn't done anything to fix this. We know initially Congress bipartisan support for passing this legislation. Now that Trump is on board, now that Chuck Schumer, the top Democrat in the Senate, is on board for having a fix, or at least delaying the ban. Schumer and his folks have talked about a 270-day delay in the ban. There is something Congress can do, but Congress isn't doing anything. Democrats tried last week to have a 270-day delay in the ban. A Republican Senator, Tom Cotton, got involved and said no. He stopped them from doing it. They were trying to do it under a fast-track process called unanimous consent. Cotton stopped it. Well, now everyone's pretending like, oh, then I guess Congress can't do anything. Well, that's not true, right? They can still do something. They can still fix this. They just have to do the slow process. I mean, the slow process could take 3, 4, 5 days, okay? Cotton will filibuster. You got to vote cloture. There's this whole process for breaking a filibuster, but they can do it. I mean, Trump is on board and Schumer's on board, right? Top Republicans, top Democrats. Why aren't they doing it? Why aren't they doing it, guys? So that's the big question you should be asking, is why Congress isn't trying to fix this. But as it currently stands, I'm not convinced Google and Apple are going to come back. I'm not convinced the app is going back to the App Store. It works right now because TikTok simply turned it back on. But eventually, the app is no longer going to sync. It's no longer going to work with the newest version of the operating system on your iPhone or your Google app or your iPad. And then we're going to be in trouble. So as I said, guys, this is kind of a mess across the board. Nothing's been fixed. And we're going to go through this again in 2 months, basically. So you're already on. I'd say follow me on YouTube. You're already here. Anyway, thanks, guys.